For thousands of years, humanity has looked up at the stars and asked one fundamental question: are we alone in the universe? It's a question that has haunted philosophers, inspired scientists, and captured the imagination of billions. But here's what's changed. We're no longer just asking the question. We're actually finding answers. Today, we're going to examine the most compelling, scientifically credible evidence for extraterrestrial life that has emerged in recent years. This isn't about blurry photos or conspiracy theories. This is about peer-reviewed research, government disclosures, and discoveries that have fundamentally changed how seriously the scientific community takes this question. I'm talking about UAPs investigated by the Pentagon, mysterious signals from deep space, and biosignatures detected in the atmospheres of distant worlds. So buckle up, because by the end of this video, your perspective on our place in the cosmos might never be the same. Let's start with something that seemed impossible just a few years ago. The United States government officially confirming the existence of unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs, that they cannot explain. In 2020, the Pentagon released 3 now famous videos captured by Navy fighter pilots. These weren't grainy amateur footage. These were military-grade infrared recordings showing objects performing maneuvers that defy our understanding of physics. We're talking about objects dropping from 80,000 feet to sea level in seconds, making sharp 90-degree turns at hypersonic speeds, and doing all of this with no visible means of propulsion. Commander David Fravor, a Top Gun graduate with 18 years of flying experience, encountered what he called the Tic Tac object off the coast of San Diego in 2004. This wasn't just a visual sighting, it was tracked on multiple radar systems and witnessed by multiple pilots. Fravor described an object about 40 feet long with no wings, no exhaust plume, that could accelerate instantaneously in ways that would create G-forces that would crush any human pilot. Then, in June 2021, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence released an official report to Congress. Out of 144 UAP encounters investigated, they could only explain one. Let that sink in. The most powerful military in human history, with all its resources and technology, officially stated that 143 aerial phenomena remain unexplained. But here's what makes this truly significant. The report didn't rule out extraterrestrial origins. In fact, it listed it as one of several possible explanations. The government's stance has shifted from denial to acknowledgement, from ridicule to serious investigation. In 2022, NASA launched its own independent study into UAPs, the first time the space agency has officially investigated this phenomenon. And in July 2023, former Air Force intelligence officer David Grush testified under oath before Congress that the U.S. has been running a secret program to retrieve and reverse engineer craft of non-human origin. Whether you believe these testimonies or not, one thing is undeniable: the conversation has fundamentally changed. UAPs are no longer fringe conspiracy theories, they're a matter of national security and scientific inquiry. Now let's venture beyond our atmosphere and into the realm of signals from deep space. Because while UAPs might be the evidence closest to home, some of the most intriguing clues come from billions of miles away. In 2019, astronomers detected a radio signal from the galaxy Proxima Centauri, our nearest stellar neighbor, just 4.2 light-years away. This signal, dubbed BLC-1 or Breakthrough Listen Candidate 1, was a narrowband radio transmission at 982 MHz. Why does that matter? Because natural cosmic phenomena don't produce such focused, narrowband signals. They're spread across many frequencies, like noise. But BLC-1 was concentrated, like a laser beam of radio waves. Even more intriguing, the signal appeared to shift in frequency in a way consistent with coming from a planet orbiting a star. And we know Proxima Centauri has planets including Proxima b, which sits in the habitable zone where liquid water could exist. Then there are fast radio bursts, FRBs. These are incredibly brief, powerful pulses of radio energy from distant galaxies. In 2020, astronomers detected an FRB which repeated in a pattern. Not randomly, but in a 16-day cycle. 16 days of activity, then 12 days of silence, over and over. Natural phenomena can repeat. Sure, but regular patterns? That's where things get interesting. Some scientists have proposed that certain FRBs could be leakage from alien technology, perhaps energy beams used to propel spacecraft using light sails. The most famous signal remains the wow signal from 1977 to 72-second burst of radio waves that was so strong and unusual that astronomer Jerry Ammon wrote, "Wow," on the printout. It came from the direction of Sagittarius and has never repeated. For decades, it has remained unexplained, though recent theories suggest it might have come from a comet. But here's the thing, we still don't know for sure. The universe is speaking to us in radio waves, X-rays, and light. The question is, are some of those signals artificial? Are they messages? And more importantly, are we listening carefully enough? But let us talk about what might be the most scientifically robust evidence we have: the detection of biosignatures on distant worlds. A biosignature is basically a sign of life, a chemical or molecule that is produced by living organisms. And thanks to next-generation telescopes like the James Webb Space Telescope, launched in 2021, we can now analyze the atmospheres of planets light years away. In September 2023, scientists announced the detection of dimethyl sulfide DMS in the atmosphere of K218b, an exoplanet 120 light-years away. This is huge. On Earth, DMS is only produced by life, specifically by phytoplankton in our oceans. There is no known non-biological process that creates it. K218b is what we call a Hycean world, a planet covered in oceans with a hydrogen-rich atmosphere. It's 2.6 times the size of Earth and sits in the habitable zone of its star. The James Webb Telescope also detected methane and carbon dioxide in its atmosphere, both consistent with an ocean-covered world that might harbor life. Now, scientists are being cautious, and they should be. One detection doesn't confirm alien life, but it's compelling enough that K218b has become a priority target for further observation. And it's not just distant exoplanets. In 2020, scientists announced the detection of phosphine gas in the clouds of Venus, our neighbor planet. Phosphine is another molecule that, on Earth, is primarily produced by anaerobic bacteria or industrial processes. Finding it in Venus's atmosphere, where temperatures reach 900 degrees Fahrenheit at the surface, was shocking. The discovery sparked intense debate. Some subsequent studies suggested the signal might be sulfur dioxide instead, not phosphine, but other researchers stood by the original findings. The debate continues, but it has refocused attention on Venus as a possible habitat for life. Not on the surface, but floating in the clouds where conditions are far more moderate. And let's not forget our own solar system. Jupiter's moon Europa and Saturn's moon Enceladus both have subsurface oceans beneath their icy crusts. The Cassini spacecraft detected water plumes erupting from Enceladus that contained organic molecules and salts ingredients, necessary for life as we know it. NASA's Europa Clipper mission, launched in 2024, is on its way to investigate Europa's ocean in detail. If life exists in our solar system beyond Earth, Europa and Enceladus are the prime candidates. The evidence is mounting. The ingredients for life are everywhere in the universe. Complex organic molecules have been found in interstellar clouds, on asteroids, and on comets. The question is no longer could life exist elsewhere, but rather, where does it exist and how do we find it? So if the evidence is so compelling, why haven't we made definitive contact? This is what's known as the Fermi paradox, named after physicist Enrico Fermi, who famously asked, "Where's everybody?" The numbers are staggering. Our galaxy contains between 100 and 400 billion stars. Many of these stars have planets. Conservative estimates suggest there could be 40 billion Earth-sized planets in habitable zones in our galaxy alone. And there are an estimated 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. With numbers like that, the universe should be teeming with life. So why haven't we found it, or why hasn't it found us? There are several possible explanations, and they're not mutually exclusive. The Great Filter hypothesis suggests that there's some barrier that prevents life from reaching advanced technological stages, either behind us or ahead of us. The zoo hypothesis proposes that advanced civilizations are intentionally avoiding contact with us, like researchers observing animals in their natural habitat. Maybe interstellar travel is simply impossible or impractical, regardless of technology. Or maybe, and this is increasingly plausible given the evidence, they're already here, and we're just beginning to recognize it. Dr. Avi Loeb, former chair of Harvard's astronomy department, has become a vocal advocate for taking the search for extraterrestrial intelligence more seriously. His Galileo project is using sophisticated instruments to systematically study UAPs and search for technological signatures from advanced civilizations. His argument is simple. We've spent decades searching for radio signals from space. But if advanced civilizations are visiting us with physical craft, or if they've sent probes to our solar system, we need to look for physical evidence, not just electromagnetic signals. So, are we alone? Based on the modern evidence, the honest answer is, we don't know for certain, but the probability that we are alone seems to be shrinking every year. We have military pilots and government officials confirming encounters with technology that surpasses our own. We have mysterious signals from nearby star systems that defy easy natural explanation. We have biosignatures in the atmospheres of distant worlds that suggest the presence of life. And we have an entire solar system with multiple locations where life could potentially exist. The evidence doesn't give us a definitive yes or no. What it gives us is something perhaps more profound, a legitimate scientific foundation for taking the question seriously. We're no longer in the realm of science fiction or wild speculation. We're in the realm of peer-reviewed research, government investigations, and systematic observation. The next decade will be crucial. The James Webb Space Telescope will continue analyzing exoplanet atmospheres. NASA's missions to Europa and other ocean worlds will search for life in our cosmic backyard. The Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office will continue investigating UAPs. And projects like SETI and the Galileo project will scan the skies for any sign of intelligence beyond Earth. Whatever the answer turns out to be, one thing is certain: we live in an extraordinary time. A time when humanity is finally developing the tools and the will to answer one of our oldest questions. And whether we find microbial life in subsurface oceans, detect definitive technological signatures from distant civilizations, or confirm that some UAPs represent non-human intelligence, the answer will fundamentally transform our understanding of our place in the cosmos. The universe is vast, ancient, and full of mysteries. And we're only just beginning to unravel them. Thanks for watching. If you found this exploration fascinating, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest questions facing humanity. And let me know in the comments, do you think we're alone? What evidence do you find most compelling? Until next time, keep looking up.